Imagine yourself in 1972. The color television was just released to the public. You could feed your entire family for less than $5. The digital watch was invented, and, of course, Atari released one of the first major video games, Pong. Atari is a company that is now well known for its games, but when Pong was released, it was revolutionary. People of the time had never seen games, had never experienced how much fun they could be, or how potentially damaging they would eventually be to society. This channel, as well as many other channels here on YouTube, is primarily focused on games and the culture of gaming. But there's also a bit of a problem that our generation has yet to actualize. A problem that was always directly in front of us, something that had been continuously mentioned and coined into a popular phrase, but no one really took seriously. Sometimes, too much of a good thing is a bad thing. You see, after the color television was released, entertainment became so much easier to access. Televised programs were made available for all to see. Gaming exploded. Grander scale movies and experiences were as far as the eye could see. Let's fast forward a bit to current day. Video games are a mass phenomena. There are more shows and movies than you can watch in 2 lifetimes. Everything is so easy to access, entertainment is everywhere. And yet, for some reason, the majority of humanity has an emptiness inside of us. Depression, anxiety, and stress is at an all-time high, especially in today's youth. Now, I know this is a major issue today, and one that's certainly not discussed enough, but I believe that the cycle that we currently have in our society of instant gratification is way more damaging than it is good. We live in a time where it's common to have a quote-unquote dopamine overdose, to the point where we have withdrawals and get depression or anxious. Now, I'm sure at this point in the video you're asking, well, William, what's up with that video title? How exactly did Nintendo save a generation? And that is an excellent question. You see, according to numerous medical journals and psychologists, human interaction is one of the most important things in a person's lifespan. It teaches you social norms, gives you satisfaction, makes you feel part of a group, and helps you cope with difficult tasks in life. And that is exactly what happened with Pokemon Go. People have been able to game online for years now, that's no surprise to anyone. However, Pokemon Go is exactly how Nintendo managed to make a huge difference between themselves and every other game that was online. Just about every other multiplayer game in recent history has been online, making the human interaction between one another very vague and disconnected. While many have made friends online this way, it's still lacking something very important to the human psyche: the ability to see someone. Let's use the example of someone talking to a robot. Nadine is a secretary at NTU. She interacts with people on the phone, responds to emails, and so on. The strange disconnect that people seem to have with her is when they see her face to face. She has all the normal facial and bodily features of a normal human being, but because she's a robot, there's something there that's a little off. Something that doesn't feel quite right. It's a disconnect in the mind that makes you wonder if something's a threat or not. The same basic reaction happens when you're playing online or when you leave a comment on YouTube. At the point when you type something or read someone's comments, neither you nor they are a real person. You'll most likely never have to deal with the consequences of what you said or did in an online situation. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why Pokemon Go makes all the difference. In this, I'll use myself as an example. I have depression and social anxiety. I absolutely hated to interact with people in person, especially in the area that I live. But after getting Pokemon Go, something changed in me that I can't quite explain away. I found myself walking outside, not driving to locations with my friend while I was on my phone, but walking. Something I hadn't done since in cross country in high school. After moving to a small town when just starting high school, I hated it here. I couldn't really connect with anyone and didn't have anything in common with a single person, so I secluded myself and allowed depression to take hold. But something happened to make that change. As I was walking downtown by the shops, activating Pokestops and putting some lure mods on a local coffee shop, a group of people walked out of the store and I heard one of them say, "Team Valor is the best!" The other one said, "Team Mystic for life!" And out of nowhere, without any time to properly think about what I was doing, I shouted, "Team Valor for the win!" Normally, I'd recoil and try to act as though I hadn't said anything and pretend like I didn't exist. but I proudly sat on a bench with my fist in the air as the other guy responded with, "Fuck yeah, Team Valor!" The Team Mystic guy laughed, and they both sat next to me, and we proceeded to spend the next few minutes talking with one another about what Pokemon we'd managed to catch, what gyms we were a part of, and where rare Pokemon would be found. Never before had I interacted with people in that way, and as each day continues to pass, I see more and more posts and journals about how Pokemon Go is helping people fight depression, anxiety, stress, and so much more. It's making us go out and interact in a way that we never have before. This generation has always been a secluded one that's quiet and kept to themselves and doesn't really go outside or do anything like that. We're forming groups now based on teams and even looking past team type in order to help one another to a common goal. Be the very best, like no one ever was. And that is how Pokemon managed to save our generation. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Also, subscribe to our main channel here in the top corner.